Hello soulmate, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be making this cow kaftan dress. If this is what you're interested in, please keep watching, like and share this video. The measurement you'll be needing will be on the screen. So here my fabric is already on fold. What I did was to fold my fabric into two and then I fold again into four. Okay, so as you can see, this is savage to savage, so I'll use this paper to illustrate. From here to here is the length of the fabric by yardage, and then from up to down is the length of the African print, which is by 45. Okay, so I'll use my tape to show you. The length I'm working with is 62 inches, 60 inches for the actual length, 2 inches for the folding allowance. So what I did was to measure out 60 from here. I measure 60, let's assume this 6 is 60, and then I fold into two like this, and then I fold the lengthwise, which is the 45, like so. Okay, that is why you are seeing the savage to savage together. Okay, so what I have here is 6 yards of African print, but I made use of 4 yards actually. So from here I'm going to measure the waistline, which is 17 inches. And then from waist to hip I used 10 inches. Then from shoulder I'm going to measure 40 inches, which is her knee length. From shoulder to knee I used 40 inches. Okay, so next I'm going to be marking the neck width and neck depth. Neck width of 3.5 inch, and the neck depth for the front of 4 inches, the neck depth for the back 1.5 inch. Okay, so here I'm using 3.5 for the neck width, 4 inches for the neck depth for the front, 1.5 for the back. Okay, and then from this front neckline I'm going to come down by 4 inches like so, and then I'll go in by ½ inch here like this, and then I'll connect it down to the 4 inches I marked downward. This is for the front opening. So here I'm going to slant my shoulder by 2 inches, then I'll connect to the neck width. Next I'm going to be marking the shoulder divided by 2. The shoulder I'm working with is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5, and then I'm going to mark the 7.5, and then I'll mark my sleeve. So the total sleeve length I'm working with is 12 inches. So 12 minus 13 inches. 13 minus 3, I will have 10 left. So I'm trying to repeat what I've done before in case if you guys did not see. So I went in by ½ inch here, and then I connected to this 4 inches down here. Okay, so now I'm going to mark the shoulder 7.5, and then I'll be marking 9 inches. So the length of the sleeve actually is 12 inches minus 3 inches for the band. I will have 9 inches left, so I'm marking 9 inches there now. So here I'm going to mark her sleeve opening, which is 13. Okay, so it's 13 is her round sleeve measurement, so I'll be using the 13 because I'll be gathering this point, I'll be gathering the sleeve area, so that is why I use 13. So we are going to skip the waist, we don't need it. So here at the hip line I'm going to mark her hip divided by 4 plus 3 inches. You can make it 5 inches if you want it to be very big, very full. So I added only 3 inches because you don't want it to be too big. So at the knee line I'm going to mark her exact hip measurement, or you can measure what you have here and take out 2, 3, 4, 5 inches depending on your preference. Okay, you can take out like 2 inches, you can take out more. So I'm going to connect from here to this point. Okay, what I did was to mark the exact hip measurement at the knee line so you can form that cow shape. Okay, so next at this sleeve opening I'm going to measure what I have here at the shoulder line. You measure what you have there and you're going to mark exactly the same thing at the sleeve opening side. Okay, so measure whatever you have here. You place that same measurement here at the sleeve line here, and then you're going to come in by 1 inch for allowance, like so. So you connect from that 1 inch down to the hip line. You connect upward like so to the shoulder, and from this 1 inch we came in, you connect to the hip line like this. Okay, but I'll be curving I'm just showing you some different method of doing this. If you want, you can leave it straight like this. If you want, you curve it. So I'll be going for the curving. Okay, you curve it to the knee line. You curve it to the knee line. Okay, so that is what I'm going to be doing. So I'll just clean this up and then I'll curve to the knee. Some people, you can also mark straight like so. From here to the knee, you can mark straight if you want. Okay, but I'll be curving mine, so I'll clean this up and then I'll curve it. Okay, so I've cleaned this up and I'm going to curve from here to the knee line like so. Okay, so our cow kaftan is formed. Now I'm going to mark the length. Just whatever you have at the knee line, you're going to use the same measurement on the full length, or you just mark it straight down to the full length. Okay, so that is what I'm going to do here. Either you measure whatever you have here at the knee line, or you just take it down straight. If your hand is straight, you can just mark it down straight. So that is what I did, and now I'll be cutting this out. Or you measure. If you know your hand is not straight, you measure and then mark the same thing on the hemline so that you can get a straight line. So we are done marking. Now I'm going to get a scissors and cut this out. If you're confused in any way, you can ask me on the comments section and I'll be there to reply you. Okay, if you have any question, ask me on the comment section and I'll reply. And if you enjoyed this video, please give us a thumbs up, like and share the video, please. If you're new to my channel, kindly hit on the red button below and subscribe. It's free. So after cutting out the sleeve side, next you're going to cut the shoulder, the neckline for the back, this one. Okay, and then you cut the shoulder slant. Then you now remove the inside one and cut out your front neckline. Remember to add half-inch seam allowance here. I forgot that. Okay, remember to add half-inch seam allowance at the shoulder line here. I forgot to do that. I cut out everything. So I'm going to bring out the inside one like so. That will be our back panel, and then I'll cut out the front neckline. So now I'm cutting the front neckline. Now also cut the 4 inches opening like so. You can do 3 inches, then after you turn it to round up to 3.5 or so, or 3.5. After you turn it to round out to 4 inches. So here I've got a piece of fabric for the turning of the neck opening, and it's 6 inches long. Okay, so I'm going to place it right side facing the right side of this. So just make sure it's longer than your opening, your front neckline opening. Okay, and it should come above your neckline a little like so. So you're going to take this to the sewing machine and sew with 1/2 inch from here down and then up again. Okay, so I'll go and do that and I'll come back and show us. So here I've done that, as you can see. So what I'll do now is to cut this open. Okay, this is it. So you cut this open and then use hemming gum and hold the facing together. Okay, you turn it out to the wrong side like so. Turn it to the wrong side like so. So you are going to top stitch on this. I'm going to top stitch on it. I'll run a stitch on this so that it will lay flat. Okay, I'll run a stitch from here down and up again. So you can decide to fold this in and then use hemming gum to hold it together. You can decide to run a stitch around it. Okay, so I want to run a stitch around it like so. You can decide to leave it like this and then just run a stitch on it and then use hemming gum to secure the facing and stop it from coming out. Okay, so now after that I'm going to turn to the right side. You give this a good press also so that it will lay flat. So after ironing it, I'm going to place the back panel right side facing the right side of the front panel together like this, right side facing the right side of each other, and then you secure it at the shoulder from here down to the shoulder, from here down to the sleeve. Okay, so here I've done that. Next I'm going to secure this neckline. So let me open this up to show you guys how I'm going to sew this together. So you're supposed to do this before joining your shoulders, but I forgot to do it. So now I'm going to do it, just folding a little inside, and then you're going to sew it round the neck opening. Round the neck opening. Okay, so I'll do that and I'll be back. Just fold in twice or 3 times. You have to reduce the facing. Okay, as you can see, I reduced it before I start folding. So here is done, neatly finished. Okay, so here is the right side. As you can see, it's neatly done. I'm going to trim out the excess and then I'm going to measure around the neckline. Okay, I'll trim out the excess and then I'll measure around the neckline. So you can measure 2 or 3 times to be sure of the accuracy of your measurement. Okay, so I'll measure around the neckline and I'll be piping this neckline. So here is what I want to use to pipe the neckline is unbiased. So I just thought to show you guys how to cut unbiased in case some of you don't know. So unbiased will be a little bit stretchy, as you can see. It's stretchy, but straight is not stretchy. So it's better to cut unbiased when you want to pipe your neckline. So here I measured my neck width plus 3 inches extra. So the neck width I'm working with, let's assume is 15, because really I can't remember. Let's assume it's 15, and then I added 3 inches, making it 18. So here I'll be marking 3 inches like so, and then I'll connect. Okay, after marking out your neck width, which is this place I'm cutting out, from there you mark 3 inches inward. After marking the 3 inches, you connect also, and then you cut out. Okay, hope this is clear enough. So here I'm cutting out the pieces I'm going to use to pipe the neckline. So after this, what I'm going to do, I'll be folding it into 2. I'm going to iron it out, fold it into 2 and iron. Okay, so here I have my strap for the neck line. So you fold in half like so. You can go and iron this out so that it will lay flat for you. You can go and iron it, or you just use it, but let me show you what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get the dress on the neckline. You can start from either side. You can start sewing from the wrong side and then fold outwards to the right side, or you can start sewing from the right side and fold inwards to the wrong side. All is okay, anyone you want to do. Okay, anyone is fine. You can fold like so and so, but before that, make sure you leave like 1 inch before you start sewing. Okay, so you're going to turn the neckline like so. Unfold though, make sure to fold your pieces. Okay, so here I'll do that and I'll come back and show you guys the next thing to do. So this is the sleeve side. What I'm going to do is to gather here. I'll run a gather stitch there, and then I'll gather it to the actual measurement, because when you open it up like this, it's 26 inches long. Remember, her round sleeve is 14. So you're going to cut a band that is 13 inches. A band that is 13 inches plus extra 2 inches for sewing allowance. So this band now is 15 inches long, and it's 2 pieces here, one for this other side, for the 2 sleeve side. Okay, and the length, like I said, is 15, is even 16 inches. Okay, so I added 1.5 inch for my sewing allowance, whereas the sleeve opening is 13, and here I have 7 inches. It's 8 inches, but you're supposed to make it 7 inches on fold, because the band width is 3 inches. That is what I minus from it. It was 3 inches, but I decided to make it 4 inches on fold like so. Okay, so I'll just go and gather the sleeve, and then I'll come back and show us what to do. So here is the sleeve side. I've ironed this band into 2. I iron it 0.5 inch on both sides. So here, after sewing this, as you can see, I gathered the sleeve to the band like so, and then I sew it. Okay, so what I'll do now, remember to place it right side of the band facing the wrong side of the fabric like this, and then you sew. Right side of the band facing the wrong side of the dress, and then you turn it over to the right side and top stitch like so. Okay, wrong side of the band, just like this one, is going to look like this one. Okay, right side of the band facing the wrong side of the dress, and then after sewing the one side, you turn it over and top stitch on the right side of the dress. Okay, so here is the neckline. I've sewed it round, so I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Trying to trim out some thread. So what you do now is to cut out the excess you have, in case if you have any excess, and then you fold in a little inside like so. You fold it inside like this, and then you're going to flip it over to the other side and top stitch. So it can be the wrong side, it can be the wrong side, or the right side, depending on where you want your fold to fall. Any one you do is okay, just make sure it's neat. Okay, so me, I folded to the wrong side like so. I top stitch on the wrong side of the dress like this. Okay, so you're going to fold in the little remaining one inside, and then you top stitch at the tip, because a rope is going to pass inside here. Okay, a rope is going to pass inside. So after sewing that, we'll move to the pocket. So this is the pieces I want to use for my pocket, and the length of this pocket, you can use at least 8. Normal pocket is 8 inches. So for these, I'm making use of 11 inches. I want to make use of 10 inches, 11 inches, half inch folding the other side, half inch the other side. So 11 by 11 inches. The pocket length is 11, the width is 11. So I want the pocket width to be 10 inch. So 11 by 11 after folding everything is going to be 10. So here I came down by 2 inches, and then I'm going to connect it to the side. Okay, so I kind of reduce the pocket to 10. I don't want it to be too big, so I'm going to connect to this point like so. Okay, so I'm going to cut this out. Okay, so this is what we have for the pocket, and you need 2 of this. Okay, 2 of this. So you're going to fold in half inch inward. When ironing, you fold in half inch round the pocket area. So this one is 2 pieces here. So here I'm done folding. I folded in half inch inward, and the upper side I sewed it. This side here I sewed it, okay, because that's the part that is going to be open. So I sewed it, but the other side, the other 3 corner side, I did not sew it. So to place your pocket, you turn your dress to the right side, and you're going to measure from the shoulder down to 23 inches. Okay, or you mark your waist, and then you count 5 inches below your waist. Okay, 5 inches below your waist, or 3 inches below your waistline. So but this I did 23. The waistline I'm working with is 18, and then plus 3, that's plus 5, that's 23. Okay, so I'm going to mark here, and I'll turn to the other side also. I'll move to the other side, and I'll repeat the same thing. I'm going to mark the same 23, sorry, not 3, 23. So next I'm going to get the midpoint of this front panel. The middle of this front panel, I'm going to mark out the middle of this front panel like this. I'm going to mark out the middle of this front panel. Like so. So from that point now, I'm going to mark 4 inches. I did 6, but I later changed it because it was too close to the seam allowance. So you mark 4 inches. Okay, you mark 4 inches or 5 inches. 4 to 5 inches is okay, and you move to the other side and mark the same 5 inches, and then you place your pocket like this. Okay, you also place this other one like so. So you are going to sew. You're going to sew the pocket. Like this, and then you're going to sew the pocket round, leave the up part open. That is where your hand is going to pass through. And after that, I'm going to shape this dress using 1-inch seam allowance, and then fold the hem part, and we are done, guys. I'm so sorry I didn't show you guys the bias. So what I use for the neckline here is bias. Yeah, bias, this velvet bias. That is what I use for the rope at the neck. So you use your safety pin and pass it around the neck, as you can see. Okay, it's just like a drawstring neck. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and share this video, and I'll be seeing you in my next tutorial. Bye.